Time Travels, Exploration of Lives Remembered, Chapter 16, Sacred Souls. In Dolores Cannon's Convoluted Universe, Book 4, the fourth in her multi-volume series, she wrote about a phenomenon called backdrop people. Among other uses described in Dolores' books, the concept of the backdrop people is a way for the rest of us here on the old earth to not notice the massive number of people who are ascending. I'm very fascinated with this concept because it flies in the face of everything we've been told before. Things like we die, there's no such thing as reincarnation, and that this reality is all there is. In this chapter, I include a couple of stories, and I'd like to share this one here. It's the concept of the human suit. Okay. George works in the healthcare field with the human skeletal system as his specialty. He came to a QHHT session with health concerns, vision disturbance, low back pain, and social withdrawal tendencies. In addition, he expressed the eternal question, what's my life purpose and missions? Coming into the first scene, George floats over New York City's skyscrapers. Landing on the sidewalk, he finds himself observing people, mostly men, walking around in different directions, wearing dark overcoats. In a human body, he is wearing black suede shoes with dark gray plaid pants and an overcoat. His hair is black at a medium length, combed to the side, and is covered with a dark blue hat. The hat style is similar to the other men on the street. He is wearing a gold ring on his left ring finger. There is no significance of the ring to him, although it feels as if someone gave it to him. From his pocket, he retrieves a brown leather wallet with a moderate amount of cash and credit cards. I ask him how he's feeling. Calm. His body is healthy, in his 50s. He isn't sure what he does with the majority of his time. He doesn't know where he is going. He doesn't have an appointment. He observes people. No family. He feels like he's a visitor, but doesn't know from where. I ask him to move to the place where he lives and wait for his response. There is no place on earth he calls home. He doesn't know where he lives. Barbara, do you come from this planet? George, it doesn't feel like it. Barbara, are you some form of observer? George, it feels that way. Barbara, do you know where you come from? It's okay to share it with me. It's very safe. Many of us come from different places in the universe. Can you see from where you come from? George, I see something out in the solar system. Barbara, is it a distant planet? George, uh-huh. Barbara, can you take a look at it? It's okay to see it. George, it has a yellow glow to it. Barbara, do you have a name for it? George, it seems something like Uranus. Barbara, would you like to go there? George, sure. We leave New York City and go to his home planet. Barbara, let me know where you like to go. What would be your favorite place? Let me know when you're there. What are you seeing? George, just a dense yellow foggy surface. Barbara, do you have a form or body when you're there? George, I do have a body, 12 toes on each foot. Looks like a statue, white porcelain type skin. No garment is necessary. Each hand has 6 fingers. My face looks like a monster. Barbara, in what way? George, the shape, 2 eyes, mouth with saber-toothed teeth, no hair. He goes to a little cave where he lives. It's dark, but he can see stalactites and stalagmites inside. He's all alone. Others like him are outside. He's not part of the community. The others look similar. He doesn't have a name. He doesn't eat food. Nourishment is obtained through light. His body is healthy, but old and of male gender. He has no family here either. Barbara, tell me about your trip to New York City. George, it feels like I go on trips like this to just observe. Barbara, do you know how you were created? George, it feels like I was created from the stars. Barbara, from the observations of New York City, what did you observe? People are going out in different directions. There is a lot of togetherness and communication. There is a lack of togetherness and communication. Barbara, is there a sense of community on your planet? George, I feel very alone there. Barbara, can you tell me why? Why are you by yourself in a cave? George, I'm supposed to be there. Barbara, did someone tell you that you had to be there in the cave by yourself? George, it's my appointed place. Barbara, do you have any special gifts or attributes that others don't have? George, no. Barbara, what do you do in your cave? George, sleep, heal, and regenerate. Barbara, do you only stay in your cave? Do you go out? George, yes. Barbara, what do you like to do? George, explore land and watch the sunsets. Barbara, what are they like? George, pretty bright, and their color is orange. Barbara, what's a typical day on your planet? George, it's short. It is close to the hour point in the hypnosis, so I ask about the purpose of that live shown. George, the purpose was to spend time by myself to reflect and think about things and learn about patience. Higher self. The higher self says a lifetime was shown so George can know what it feels like to be alone. The lessons to learn were about comforts. Barbara, would you look into his eyes and the optic system and tell us what is the root cause of his vision disturbance? Higher self, the fibers are spread apart. Barbara, how did that happen? Higher self, stress on the eyes. Barbara, from what? Higher self, trying to look too hard to find the answers what he's going through. It parallels. The recommendation for perfect vision without fluctuation is to see the bigger picture. Barbara, can you recommend how he is to do this? Higher self, stop trying to get it all perfect. Be willing to be wrong. Be willing to be vulnerable in every area of life. Barbara, are you able to heal that blurriness at this time in the session? You've done it for others. Higher self, we're working on it now. Barbara, how are you doing the healing? Higher self, we're removing the swelling and repairing the fibers. Barbara, what is his purpose in this lifetime? Higher self, to serve others, to show them their higher path in wellness and balance. Barbara, is he doing this through his work and modalities? Higher self, yes. Barbara, are there any other modalities for him to acquire? Higher self, he's on the right path. Barbara, what is his main mission in this current lifetime? Higher self, to show others they can see their life differently. They can experience a sense of happiness and wellness that they did not know that they can tap into. He's to remain patient, to trust his inner voice and instinct, and take action on those. Barbara, why does George prefer to be alone and not in a relationship? Higher self, he avoids getting hurt and disappointed by the way people can be. His consciousness is much higher than the average person. Barbara, is this why you showed him the being from the yellow planet? Higher self, yes. Barbara, is this a past life or a parallel life? Higher self, parallel life. Barbara, is there a name for this planet he's from? Higher self, there is no name. Not Uranus. Barbara, in a different solar system? Higher self, yes. Barbara, the community he's from, Are these highly evolved beings? Higher self. No. Barbara. Do they have the ability to go to other places to observe and learn? Higher self. Yes. Barbara. Is this what he was doing in New York City? Higher self. Yes. Barbara. Connecting with that part of him. Would that be beneficial for him? Higher self. It can be useful. Barbara. Can you give us a name he can use? Higher self. We don't understand that question. Not necessary to contact with a name. Barbara. That aspect of him is something that he can just know about, where he comes from, and how that part of him is experiencing life? Higher self. Yes. Barbara. What was the purpose of the parallel life you showed him? Higher self. To show him patience. Barbara. You mentioned in another answer that he is to gain new friendships and engage in activities in order for him to trust himself and take chances. Will you put those ideas in his mind? Higher self. It's all there for him. He just needs to take the steps. Parting message. Higher self. You're here in this body for a short time. Finish your mission. You're not coming back. For George, he learned his life purpose and the root cause of his low back pain and vision disturbances. He was given the guidelines to trust himself and take chances. He learned he comes from another place in the solar system. It's not unusual for the client to receive the name of their home planet or star later, after listening to the recording in private. People who are resonating with the QHHT method often are wondering about their own life purpose and missions. This is the perfect point in their life to go into deep level trance hypnosis with a trained QHHT practitioner.